Hello, and welcome to this first video in the Plan.City London how-to series. In this introduction, we'll be talking about how to move around the game world, something that you'll probably want to do immediately after launching the app. Navigating the 3D environment can be done in a couple different ways, thanks to the two control systems currently available in Plan.City. The first one is called the drone mode, and this is one navigation method that lets us move around as if we were a drone, with almost unlimited freedom. The second one is called the orbit pan zoom control scheme, a name that probably doesn't roll off the tongue as easily, even though you've probably encountered it in other 3D applications. We'll start looking at the drone mode, simply because that will probably be the default control method enabled when you start playing the app. When navigating using this mode, simply use the WASD keys to control the character and move the mouse to have it look around the scene. The W key will bring the character forwards, whereas S will move it backwards, A leftwards and D rightwards. You can also use the Q and E keys to move the character down and up respectively, which, in combination with the previous key presses, should allow you to freely navigate the model. Something else you might want to do when controlling the character is access the various panels and menus that Plan.City has on offer. To do so, you'll need to bring up the mouse cursor, something that can be done by pressing the escape key. Doing so will have the mouse appear on the screen, as well as a Windows widget located on the upper right-hand side of the screen, the typical operating system buttons that will allow you to minimize, expand, or close the app. With the mouse on the screen, feel free to access any of the UI elements Plan.City displays by positioning the mouse above them and clicking with the left mouse button. One thing to note at this stage is that, even though you are now controlling the UI, you can continue to move around the world using the same keyboard presses as before, and you can even look around by holding down the left or middle mouse button in combination with the previous mouse movement. This can also be done whilst holding down the right mouse button, but I don't recommend doing that as the contextual menu is set to appear when using that particular mouse button. While still controlling the UI, let's quickly take a look at one section of the settings panel that will allow us to adjust the way we control it, either by adjusting certain sensitivity parameters or by changing the control system altogether. This can be done through the controls panel, accessible through the settings menu located at the bottom right corner of the main menu bar. With the new panel in place, let's head over to the controls area and look at the options there. We'll find a couple of sliders that will allow us to adjust the speed at which we control the character. The movement speed controls affect the amount of space that we cover whilst moving the character, whilst the mouse sensitivity slider controls how much the camera moves when we adjust the mouse. Below these sliders, we can find the control scheme drop-down box. It is here where we can change the controls used to move the character we mentioned at the beginning of this video. The free-flying mode is the same drone mode we've been talking about thus far, and we have the option to change to the aptly orbit pan zoom mode. Let's change the control system to this new method and see how we can move around next. To start, the orbit pan zoom method doesn't use the escape key to toggle between controlling the UI and the character. When using this system, the mouse is accessible at all times, and so is the UI. This behavior is tied to the way we control the new character. Instead of using keyboard keys to control movement, everything can now be done through the mouse. For instance, panning the character can be done by holding down the left mouse button and moving the mouse towards the desired direction. Similarly, zooming in and out can be done scrolling the mouse wheel, and rotating the camera can be done by holding down that same button and moving the device. This control system is a bit more limited, in that you are always looking at the model from a slightly top-down perspective, but it is also very similar to other available 3D apps that you might have used before, 3ds Max, Maya, or Google Maps being examples of this. Finally, and if you ever get stuck, remember that you also have the ability to reset your position through the Reset Position option. To access it, head over to the same control panel we visited earlier and hold down the last button for a few seconds. This option is also available through the contextual menu, which, as we saw before, can always be invoked by clicking with the right mouse button anywhere in the model. Hope this has been of help when it comes to navigating the app, and please check out our other videos to see more Plan.City features.